All right, we're doing this. Do you want to intro one?
Sure. Welcome to the Boardcast. We are going to go into depth
Into depth.
Yeah, we're going to go into depth.
Not in depth.
We're going to go in depth.
This is why I do the intros.
into our upcoming Japan trip. We're about a couple of weeks away, so this is probably going to drop the week before we leave.
Guess so, yeah.
And this time we are going for 2 weeks, and it's quite a different trip to the one before because we obviously learnt a lot of lessons the first time. But good.
So why do we go to Japan to do vintage?
Why are we going back? After we've already been, why are we going back again?
I think we go to Japan mainly for the customer, to be honest. Like their fashion suits skateboarding and snowboarding. It's a heavy snow country. There's a great exchange rate, so we'll get product that's good value for the consumer.
The flight is manageable.
Yeah, it's only 9 hours or something.
So it's not like we're flying 16 plus hours or trying to get to the States.
Driving in Japan's easy. It's on the same side of the road. The rules are the same. Mm-hmm. Dealing with Japanese postal service is amazingly simple.
Now that we've worked it out. Took us a minute.
Yeah, that's not a true statement, but we'll go with it. It's just an easy place to buy from, I think.
Yeah. But I think it's right with the fashion direction too. Like it's similar, but yet so different.
Yeah. So why do we pick, when you're hand picking over there, how do you do it?
I definitely I'm picking for our clientele, for our current customer market. There is sometimes I will actually envision a person. I'll be like, oh, I can picture this person wearing it, or this team guy, or this customer, or this person, or it's generally people within our tight knit community that are generally ones who are leading fashion, who have a really cool style that a lot of people, look up to, or pushing trends and leading trends really.
Yeah. I do it from a skate snow perspective. I buy looking for brands that I know skaters and snowboarders can relate to, or products that I know skateboarders and snowboarders will relate to, rather than the general consumer. I kind of go down that path of what would a core skater wear? Whatever a core snowboarder is, but what would a guy who's lives and breathes snowboarding, what would he wear? Then I think the general public feed off that fashion anyway. I don't really buy for myself at all over there. I rarely buy anything where I'd wear that for sure.
What about the green jacket?
Which is still here, incidentally. That hasn't been cold yet.
Yay, perfect winter jacket.
Yeah. I buy for people. I generally buy. I know what our customer base is for 28 years, so I kind of buy with that in mind. Stick to things that I think I could see anyone who rides a skateboard or snowboard, male or female, wearing, even though we're only buying men's. It's
really interesting. I feel like we've got this large portion where we both know our customer really well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry, I wasn't on camera. You were.
Yeah, we know our customer really well. We know the skate and snow industry really well. But there is this one end of the spectrum where you will buy for a certain customer, generally the customers that have been with Borders for, 20 years sort of thing. So you've got that.
Yeah, I don't push the fashion thing.
And then I'm on the other spectrum of the other part of it where I'm like, oh, this trend's coming. This is cool. I've seen this trend on, emerging, or I'm,
and you get it right most of the time, to your credit. You do. I mean, even
sometimes
are selling. Jeez.
Sometimes I hold up stuff and you're like, fuck no. And I'm like, trust me, please.
Yeah. I mean, so do you think that the Japanese are ahead fashion-wise, or just different?
Oh, I think Japanese are a unique culture. They're such a unique country that I think that they do definitely, they get inspired and draw fashion inspiration from like the Western cultures, but then they just put this Japanese spin on it, and then it kind of goes into like that style / like, you know, they'll take, you know, that classic American like, you know, biker look or baggy, and then they'll just
somehow Japanese
it and then make it like super baggy, and they'll take like a baggy pant and they'll billow it, and you're like, wow, all of a sudden it's got this Japanese twist to it. They
do. I mean, they do things in their own way. Like they draw inspiration, but they don't ever copy.
I feel like they draw from like fashion as a general, but then they've got so many subcultures within their country, like the anime and like cars and like, God, I don't even know them all, but there's so many subcultures within Japan that they kind of like see that and they go, oh, that's cool. And then they'll kind of then...
Yeah. In a weird way, they're ahead of the fashion curve and behind and different.
Just different, yeah.
They kind of cover so many different spectrums of what fashion is. Like you'll walk down the street and someone will walk past and they'll make you turn your head because you've never seen anything like it before.
Yeah.
Rather than... wow, that looks super cool. It's not necessarily that. It's like, what the fuck was that? And that's so cool in a sense. Like you're like, wow, that dude's so dialed into whatever the hell that just was.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like they are so like from start to finish when designing or creating, their attention to detail, whether it be architecture or whether it be ramen or food or
a sandwich.
Anything.
Perfect.
It is presented immaculately. Yeah. And they do that, like their attention to detail and their passion for craftsmanship is within anything, within their whole country.
Yeah, the quality of the product's really good too. If you want to go back to why Japan, they tend to make things. A lot of it is made in Japan. You'll see a lot of made in Japan or Korea, and they tend to make things a bit better than some of the other countries. So.
And I think that's why they're different too, because like even for instance, North Face, I know for a fact that the licensing for North Face is different in Japan than it is to Australia or the States. So Japan actually controls what gets manufactured through. They've got Japanese designers and marketing.
Separate licensing.
Yeah, completely different. So you'll never find the same item or the same style.
Yeah, it's super interesting, that North Face thing. Because I've been kind of ignoring North Face over there. And now that I know for a fact that every North Face product's unique to Japan, I think we'll buy a fair bit more of it. Yeah. And pay the overs because it's more expensive. Yeah.
And it's not just Japan that does that. It is a lot of other countries. They'll whether
segregate it. But
like North Face is unique because the whole designers keep it in-house sort of thing. But there are definitely
the Thrasher stuff I've found looks completely different to the stuff that's released here.
Some companies think Australia's so minuscule on the world map that they kind of forget about us. And so
fair enough.
What gets distributed in the States in comparison to Japan, in comparison to what we get, we're like Australia and the Little Islands, so like we kind of get lost a bit.
Yeah, we get the leftovers.
Yeah.
So do you think that over the time of like collectively, I think we talked about this before, but I think we've done like close to 30, maybe more trips collectively. And like you've just learnt that there's certain aspects of the culture that'll help you with buying and there's certain aspects that won't. Like you just learn Japan. It's a country that is very hard to wrap your head around when you first go there. So this time we're taking our partners. My wife's been there, I don't know, 7, 8 times, probably 10, I don't even know. She's been there a lot.
Yep.
Yours hasn't.
No.
So how do you think that's going to change I know Rowie, my wife, will change the dynamic because she's very organised. She'll be a huge help when it comes to packing, getting his maximum amount into a 23 kilo bag and blah,
she'll
blah, blah.
get everything spot on. And I'm actually super excited for that too, because I think part of the mental load will be off me a little bit because Rowie will just jump in and be like, give me the phone. I'm doing directions. Let's go.
Yeah, well, she'll organise me.
Yeah, she'll organise you so I won't have to.
Yeah.
But
I'll know where to be and what time to be actually available.
I'm super excited to show Neil Japan. He's wanted to go for a long time. I think he's going to be very entertaining.
I think, yeah, it's one of the things that I'm most looking forward to. I'm excited about. I always have, and I always will love going to Japan with first-time Japanese travellers. Yeah. I get the same buzz out of it I got when I went there for the second time with someone who'd never been there. First time I took Rowie, first time I took my kids, first time I've been there with anyone who's never been there. There's this amazing thing that happens where they're realizing the cultural difference is so massive and the divide is hard to wrap your head around.
Yeah. So I still think it's
going to be great.
One of the very few countries left where a English-speaking person can travel to and have a complete culture shock. Yeah. There are still a lot out there, but I think Japan is one of the few.
Yeah, a lot of Asia sort of speaks English.
Yeah, like you can travel to anywhere in Southeast Asia. You can travel to,
and they all you get off the plane, they go, hello.
Yeah, any of the islands, and like they all speak English. But it's like you go to Japan and it's like 80% of the time you'll have an interaction with them and they'll go, no. Nope. Just shake their heads and then you end up doing karaoke on the street trying to describe something.
Even the ones that speak English don't speak English.
Yeah, it's like broken.
Yeah, they'll try English on you. I remember that. I remember last trip we did, a girl in the Starbucks said some stuff in English and I was like, your English is really good. And she had no idea what I just said. It's like, her English is really good at saying, how can I help you?
Yeah.
And then she knows what that is in Japanese, so she can put it in.
Yeah, and we're like, order. Cafe latte.
Yeah.
And
so
she's like,
oh, right, cafe latte. And you think that you're having an English conversation. You're not.
No, she's just memorized this.
Yeah, this one sentence and enough to get the order. And then you go, your English is great, she looks at you like.
Which is literally us in reverse. We know how to order food and they go, your Japanese is great.
Nicole Kudasai. And they're like, oh, you're amazing. And they start speaking to you in Japanese like, oh, I'm fucking out.
Yeah.
Like I only had the one sentence. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm excited about Neil coming because of that new thing. I'm excited about having Rowie there because last trip was just work. This one I'll at least have little breaks.
Yeah, we're going for twice as long so we can actually enjoy and have a holiday at the same time.
Yeah, which will be good. We need to be fresh going into winter because we know how much it's going to be a heavy load this year.
Yeah, but I'm interested because we get stuck on like ramen and like Neil's made the comment of like, it's just 2 minute noodles
in soup.
Yeah, it's just noodles in soup. And I'm like, have we gone so many times now that we've tried so many variations and different ones that we're now like hooked because we know the quality and the diversity? Or are we just like
weirdos
stuck in our own hype and like...
Man, there is... Maybe.
Because I'm wondering.
I don't. Like, fuck it. There's no ramen in Australia that compares to what you find there.
Yeah. Can I say something?
How good it is here. It's still not the shit you get over there.
I've never admitted this, but for the first... like maybe 1, maybe 2 trips, I was kind of like, yeah, okay, ramen's good, but like I don't get the fuss or the hype. And it has been
it's the exploration stage, right?
Yeah.
How many?
Yeah, I was probably having like 2 or 3 in the over.
And you're having them in ski resort areas.
Yeah.
And then or in Tokyo, in the one that had the brightest lights.
Yeah.
And over the last 30 years or trips, 30 years for me, but trips. You learn that the dingy shithole has the best ramen. You don't go into the ones with the big lights and signs. I can't
wait to go back to that, like one on the side of the road that looked like it was...
I hope we can find that.
I've pin dropped it. Oh, I know. I've pin dropped all our ramen spots.
You did. That place was epic.
It looked like it was falling down. It's like, it would have been an OH&S nightmare.
Yeah. They're the best, man.
Yeah.
There was one, do you remember the one last time where we walked in and saw the power board and it was just it. Oh, right.
That was it. Okay. We walked through the curtains and it was like just literally husband and wife like he was just on the burner. It was like flames everywhere, and she was just prepping everything, and it was just like it looked like it hadn't been cleaned.
It looked like fucking disgusting.
But at the same,
that big pot that looked like it was easy 50 years old.
Yeah.
And the power board that looked like it was from 1965.
Like, somehow, like, there was enough plugged into it that the balance was right, that it wasn't falling out of the wall.
No, if a fly landed on it, it would have dropped. It was crazy. That place looked like it should have been shut in the 80s.
I'm really excited for that.
That was really good. And
we're getting on a ramen rant again.
Yeah, stop it. Anyway, so
we're gonna do a like full YouTube video on our ramen over there. So Neil is gonna film and record, and so we can document our trip a lot better this time, which is awesome.
And we'll do a podcast from over there.
Yeah,
don't know how that's gonna work, but we'll give it a crack. And
we'll see what happens.
Email it back to Jamie over there and he can whip something up, magic style. So, I mean, the next question I was going to ask is, what are you most looking forward to? Ramen. I'm looking forward to a particular spicy miso in Nagano and a tomato ramen across the road.
Are they equal?
No.
Which one's above?
The spicy miso is off its head. It's got meat in it. I'm vegan and I do not care.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to eat the meat. The meat is hard to pick out because it's tiny. Yeah. But
I could go down a ramen wormhole again.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's what I'm most looking forward to. What are you most looking forward to?
I'm excited to like explore different whiskies, but I'm really excited to explore Kyoto and Osaka because I haven't been down south that far. So
that'll be fun. Kyoto is a very different part of Japan.
Yeah.
Osaka. The food in Osaka is epic.
Really?
Yeah. Like, it's renowned for street food. It's one of the best street. You know what? I'm just going to de-vegan completely for 2 weeks. I don't give a shit. There's octopus balls over there that'll blow your mind. Okay. Yeah. It's real good.
Vegan kind of goes out the window in Japan.
Yeah, I'm not doing it. I don't care. I'm not going to scratch around looking for food. We've talked about that many times.
But I'm kind of excited that we've balanced the trip really nicely where half of it's going to be holiday, half of it's going to be work. Yeah. So we've kind of structured it so we're actually going to get to explore and have a bit of a break, like you said before.
Just maybe absorb a bit of the culture from a non-chaos point of view. Like, I love certain aspects of their culture. Like, I still think it's probably one of the most incredible countries in the world because they've got this monstrous population and everything works like clockwork. They care so much about everything. If a train is 5 minutes late, the driver will have to apologize on the national news. No shit. Like, that sort of thing actually happens. And the artisanship of the place is mind-boggling. Like, I don't know if we just talked about it, but even a sandwich looks
it's
beautiful.
Perfect. In terms of experience and travel, will you come to a samurai school?
No. I don't want to be a samurai.
Yeah, but you get to chop things with knives.
It's not Fruit Ninja. I'm not.
Well, I'm in charge of the itinerary, so
I'm going to get dragged into some bad shit. Samurai school.
Kyoto's going to be awesome.
To me, that's like culturally.
I reckon you'll kick up a fuss like this now until we get there and do it, and then you'll leave there going,
do what?
That was fucking cool.
It's not going to be cool, dude. They're going to make you dress like a samurai and cut things with a samurai sword.
Yeah, but you also get to know,
what the fuck do you want to do that for? That sounds insanely stupid to me.
Have you ever chopped something with one of those swords?
Worked as an armorer for years and years. Yes.
You've used a samurai sword.
Yep.
Well, la-di-da.
I'm sorry. It just doesn't appeal. But anyway, you guys fucking go cut up some watermelons, whatever.
All right, cool.
Have fun.
We will.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, are there still things in Japan that, like, you can't wrap your head around? Like, that blow your mind every time? There's a couple of things that make my head spin over there.
For me, it is the level of respect and honor. I appreciate it to the utmost thing. I'm like, it is incredible that through all the generations have been brought up with.
They taught that at school, right?
Yeah, I do know that. Like, because we found out the in-depth behind it, but like
the in-depth or the
fucking whatever. We found out more information about why and how it's...
It's culturally, it's not just culture, it's actually education. They educate the kids to be respectful.
And respect their elders and do all that.
That's really cool. We should do that here.
Yeah. And that's the thing, like growing up in this society, it's like, and especially in our industry, like skateboarding is very much like fucks, not really, but like
no,
it is
not anymore.
More, but it's still, it's like if you want to street skate, you've got to skate obstacles that people don't want you to skate. Like they've designed that architecture to not be skated. And you're like, well, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway.
Yeah. So like for you, like you still can't wrap your head around that.
The level of like how perfectly everything needs to run and like the respect and honor, like the fact that if I go to a 7-Eleven and I pay for something and they go recito and I go no, and it's like a big deal that everyone has to take their receipt.
Yeah,
and
good
then
luck leaving it.
And then if I'm like, they're giving me 10 cents change and I go, don't worry about it, and I go to walk out, they'll literally run from around the counter and chase me out and give me my 10 cents change.
And your recito.
And my recito.
Yeah, they never let you give them.
And I'm like, I don't care.
I'm going to come, like, if I think about that question, the thing that I can't wrap my head around in Japan is the opposite. I can't wrap my head around the fact that they've got this weird, like crime is basically non-existent to a tourist's eye. It doesn't exist. Yet you'll go through a door, like you'll go see these buildings on the side of the road that say amusement center or whatever. It's actually just pachinko, and it'll be packed at 10 a.m. with everyone from the village is cleaned out playing these slot machines that technically are illegal, but they're allowed. They turn a blind eye to it, but they could then hold that against you if you ever do anything wrong. There's like some underbelly within their culture that I can't wrap my head around. The way that the crime's controlled, and like the government could turn on you very easily because you're playing pachinko. You're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to gamble.
Yeah, gambling's illegal.
There's thousands of these places everywhere. It's super weird. Like I can't wrap my head around that. I've tried to.
It's almost,
I can't.
Yeah, it's almost like they go, you can't do any of these vices, but we're going to put these vices in society because we know that you need
like a massive percentage of people using those.
And
places. It's
like getting drunk happens behind closed doors.
It's also at 2 a.m.
But it's
wild on the streets at 2 a.m.
But we'll put alcohol in every 7-Eleven so it's readily available.
Everywhere.
But it's shunned upon to be drunk in public.
You're not even allowed to eat in public. You're not meant to eat in public.
Yeah. And then also like just how the mass population just conforms.
Yeah.
And like we found ourselves doing it. Like you'd go to a train station and you'd end up standing in a line and you're like, what am I doing?
More to the point, the amount of times I stand waiting for the lights to change.
Yeah.
And you're like, what the fuck, man? There hasn't been a car for 5 minutes. Why am I standing here? Why in this country will I stop at a red light for a pedestrian?
And there's no traffic.
Home, I wouldn't even... I'd look both ways and I'd cross the road.
Yeah, there is no traffic,
weird.
Quiet street, like dead.
You still find yourself standing
pressing
there like
the button and standing there.
I know,
and
it's weird. You become part of that.
Yeah,
really
you do.
Quickly.
And it's just like an ecosystem that you naturally gravitate and find your way into it. You stand at a train station, you join the line just naturally without thinking about it.
What drives you crazy over there? I know, mine's easy.
Can I guess yours?
Yeah, go for it.
There's a school around here.
Fuck, I'd forgotten about that.
Every GPS we get in a car, it tells you where every single school is.
And there's a fuck ton of schools in Japan.
And you can't turn it off. We don't know how. And it's like the only thing in English. And you'll be driving around like along a highway and there's probably a school like 200 meters off the highway somewhere else.
There's a school around here.
And it'll be like, ding, there's a school around here.
It's insane. It drives you insane. That was not my pet peeve, but that, it's like, you know what that is? That's like dental pain. It's so bad that you put it out of your head. Until it happens again, you've forgotten about it.
You lose your shit every time.
Dude, like there's some towns you drive through and there's 7 schools and you're trying to listen to a fucking anything. Just try and listen to music or whatever, anything, and this fucking thing tells you there's a school. It's torture. Yeah, that's up there. That's what I'm, okay, that's my new pet peeve. Yeah.
Your new pet peeve?
Oh, bro, it's bad. But there's a few things that still drive me crazy, like the zero discounting. That hurts my brain a bit. Like, you can never hustle. There's no hustle.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So you can't go, oh, man, I'm buying like $1,000 worth of shit. Can you do me a deal? That sentence
it like breaks their brain.
Yeah.
They go, what do you mean? This is the price.
Yeah, the price is the price. So there's just no hustle. So that has always been a bit of a thing that breaks me a little bit.
Yeah.
Anyway, off for that. Don't want to be negative. So we've made a little group chat since we planned this trip and on Instagram, and I've noticed 1,000 reels popping up of things to do in Japan.
Feed is Japan.
Is anything from that inspired you to actually want to go do those things?
Definitely, for sure.
Which ones?
But I think to be honest, I'm drawn to the food, the different experiences with food.
It's funny because my two are both food based.
And also like getting out of the cities into rural area.
That's always good.
It's just like the tranquility of it is beautiful.
Yeah. But what of those reels? Like, I saw a reel today that I put up because I found it. It's like noodles. I don't know how to describe this. There's noodles shooting down onsen water on bamboo that you use your chopsticks. You're sitting at the half bamboo things. They're like travelators. I don't know how to describe it. Drains. And the noodles go down and you pick the noodles out with your chopsticks and you dip it in your sauce and eat.
And you're going to do that?
Someone's at the end of that. Right? You're putting the chopsticks in your mouth and you're dipping them back in to get the next lot. It just seemed insane to me. That's in Kyoto somewhere.
Fuck it, let's go.
Yeah. So my second thing that those Instagram reels I followed this girl. She lives in Osaka. I don't know how I ended up following her. She's just an American in Japan who's half Japanese. So she obviously has a permanent residency or whatever. But she just puts up clips of things you can do in Japan, how cheap it is, blah, blah, blah. She went to a ramen place and their big thing in this place is that you know how the ice cream never melts?
I remember this one.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So the ice cream in Japan doesn't melt. I'm prepared to do a video and prove it to you when we're over there, but it doesn't melt. You can leave it for a day. We'll put it on the car. We'll stick it in the car and we'll film it. Time lapse for you. It just does not melt. Something's in it. But this ramen joint, they put one of those ice creams in the cone in the soup.
Yeah.
And she is a pretty skeptical chick. Like, she doesn't generally do stuff that I think she's telling the truth. I can't
Let's
be
go
sure.
give it a go.
Yeah, we got to go find it. She takes a mouthful going, this is going to be fucking horrible. Like, you could see in her eyes, she's like, I don't want to do this. This is going to be terrible. And the first mouthful, she's like, oh my God.
It works.
And like, she starts hooking in and she loved the ramen. She goes, I got the spicy one because I thought the ice cream would
mellow it out.
And she's like, it balanced out beautifully. It was such a delicious meal. And it was the weirdest thing. It's like a big bowl of ramen with a fucking
ice cream.
7-Eleven ice cream chucked in it. And it's not even really melting in the liquid. You can see it starting to go, but it takes that sort of heat to melt one of these ice creams. The sun won't melt your ice creams in Japan. So
crazy.
That's my Instagram inspo reel.
Yeah. There's I've seen like a lot of like the more high end dining experiences, and I'm like,
it's never worth it.
Yeah, I'm like, to be honest, I would so much rather go to that sushi place that we went to in wherever it was.
Expensive.
Because we ordered whiskey.
Yeah, that's right. We filled the fucking thing up.
Yeah, we ordered a shot of whiskey each, and we
just ordered whiskey. We didn't know what we were.
No, we ordered we said one of those each, and then we got a normal whiskey glass, and it was filled
to the fucking top.
Yeah, with like a couple of ice cubes.
Yeah,
we had technically that one cup. No mixer, no nothing, just poured straight in, and we left drunk.
Hammered. I was hammered. I could barely walk.
3-4 shots.
At least, maybe 6. It was heavy. I was like, once I stood up, I was like, oh,
whoa.
God, I'm in trouble. Yeah, that was a lot of whiskey. And it was Yamazaki.
Yeah.
The stuff that's like $500 a bottle here. And that meal cost the same as 6 other meals. Like, it was super expensive. And the sushi was amazing.
So good.
Remember the crab meat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm so not a
vegan in Japan.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty good. Go on.
There's one thing, and I know it's like, this is the thing that like I've seen on TikTok and Instagram and stuff like that, where they make the reels look, they take it at sunset and they do all these beautiful things of like make Mount Fuji in this angle and stuff like that. And I'm like, I kind of want to go through and like work out what's just like
bullshit.
Hyped up. Yeah.
Yeah. They're TikTokers. They're fucking.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't want to go to those mainstream, like, where you're going to have like a crowd of people. Well, it's like, I want to go and like, it's like we did that with that sushi restaurant, and you speak to this, and you speak to this guy, and it's like his restaurant, and
he was
like,
hilarious.
Yeah,
what's the best thing to do in this town? And he talked to his mate in Japanese and looked back at us and went, "Leave." They were like, "This place is shit." And it was fucking hilarious. Just 2 older Japanese guys telling us that. They were like, "What are you guys doing here? This place is the worst place to come to in the whole of Japan."
Yeah, but I'm excited because
I love that place.
Good. I know Neil, Rowie, and I are all early birds, and so we will be getting up at sunrise and going to temples and doing that kind of stuff before the shops open, which is a weird thing. Like, I get their culture. It's another thing that like nothing opens till 10 a.m.
Yeah, and I'd love that because I don't want to be even alive until then. I'd rather be out at 2 a.m. than getting up at 6 a.m. Like, I love the nightlife of it. Like, the place comes to life at like 10 o'clock at night.
Oh, the sake bars. We've got to go there in
the whiskey
Tokyo.
Bars, the sake bars. The place, like, you can't immerse yourself into Japanese culture unless you're awake late.
Yeah.
So, I don't know how it's going to work. I'll be out. Fuck yes.
Oh, I think we'll probably do a couple of mornings and then depending if we're late at night. Like, there was those nights where we came home at midnight and
we
we're
weren't
like,
even finishing work most nights till 10.
Yeah.
Because the shops are still open. So how about, to mix it up for this trip, we set each other a treasure hunt buying challenge.
Okay.
I haven't really put a lot of thought into this.
Okay.
But I think if we pick an item and the other person has to find that item or something really close to it, bring it back to Australia to prove that almost anything's possible. Like, I reckon we're going to see so much stuff like we did last time. You see tens of thousands of items, right? We're digging through clothes like you wouldn't believe. So what's wacky that you think is impossible to find?
Do you kind of want to do it like a Mission Impossible list? No one else will get that, but you will get that.
Yeah.
So it's like we can go over there and it's like a treasure hunt and it's like there's a list and we both have to find the item on the list and whoever...
Yeah, maybe we should write a list of things that are nearly impossible to find.
Yeah.
So these hats...
Or even... Do you know what we can do?
47 on the side. They're hard. That's got a thing on it. They're hard as hell to find. I found 2 in like 3 trips now. We can do a questionnaire on our stories before we go or after this podcast gets released, and people can help us create. Let them do that.
No, but if help us.
I don't trust these people.
No, not these guys.
No, I'm talking to the camera.
Right.
I don't trust any of them.
But they can help us maybe start our Mission Impossible list of like items to find and get. But maybe
I just think it's like I want to go.
All right, come up with one item for me.
I want a 1990s Levi's jacket.
Okay, cool.
Try and find that.
Sick. Yeah,
that would be a cool one for you to hunt down because that's a $500 product. And I bet it's there, and it'll be on the same rack. It won't be cheap.
Hard to find.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. Well,
so
let's
you've got 2 weeks to find it.
Let's come up with a Mission Impossible list.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
But how would you feel about doing, like...
Not well. I don't even know the question.
Daily, like, or not daily, but like a few outfit styles while we're over there. Like, showing what we're wearing that day, and we can...
I'm not taking any clothes.
Exactly. Because we've got to wear some of the clothes back. Sorry, people. We'll wash them.
We'll wash them. Yeah. And that's half the reason they're cheap.
Yeah.
Because we can bring them back without paying duties. Shh. No one said that. But yeah, it's I'll wear clothes.
Yeah, we can do an
whatever
outfit
I'm wearing will be stuff we bought.
Yeah.
I'm going to take literally socks.
This is the hard thing is like I find stuff and I go, oh, that's fucking cool. I want it. And
it's
so there is a buffer. You have it too. There is like
I don't keep any of it.
A buffer of items where it's in the like, I don't know if I'm going to sell this or keep it. Yeah, that's one of them.
I don't keep anything, but I've kept this hat and one other that's exactly the same. I just like the way they fit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I'd buy that. Yeah. Okay.
So, there is a buffer. So, we can style outfits with those items that we fucking love and we think are cool, and that we can do little
cool
outfit styles and a Mission Impossible list at the same time.
The biggest problem is, remember last time the shoes were an issue? What? We only had one pair of shoes each. And we're like, you can't just fucking, how do you style an outfit with the exact same shoe 300 times? I'm not buying shoes.
Are you going to take your...
check them out. Thanks, Asics Australia. They were just runners. They gave
comfy
me...
today?
Yeah, I've been printing all day, so I've been on my feet.
Good.
And they're really good. I feel like I should have a newspaper rolled up under my arm and be headed to the TAB,
but here you are.
Comfortable.
Young and alive. And wearing Asics.
Japan wrapped up.
Yeah.
So we'll report back, and we're going to do a bunch of things while we're over there.
There's definitely going to be a lot more content coming out whilst we're over there.
We're going to work out, even though we're trying to make this trip a little less stressful, we're still going to work our asses off to come back with about 1,000 items, I guess. That's got to be the goal. We'll have probably 600 on us when we come back, and then 400 more in the post. Not post, like shipped back. So yeah, we'll endeavour to hunt down some clothes. And we might do maybe a little poll. So if there's items or cool shit that you want us to try and find while we're over there to add to the scavenger hunt treasure list. Yeah. And just put it in the comments of one of the 300 ways you can watch this or listen to it. Yep. And good choice with the beer tonight. Much better. Thank you. They're good, hey? Smashed it, yeah. Peace. Thanks, everyone. See you next week. Sayonara. Bitches. All right, that'll do it. Cut.